So after I made my Warzone 2 is dying video, I feel like a good follow-up is going to be comparing Warzone 1 and Warzone 2 in their current states to see which one that you should be playing. And I'm going to cut the video really short, right? You should be playing Warzone 1. Ultimately, it's better. If you want to stop watching, thank you for being here. Leave a like and a comment, and we'll see you in the next one. But we are going to go more in depth. And I feel like this is a fair thing because I don't like Caldera. I started hating Warzone when Verdansk left and the integration of like 17 different Call of Duties into one game started happening. It was just miserable, right? And we're not going to talk about Verdansk too much, even though I want to, because goddamn do I miss it, okay? Superstore, Storage Town, Boneyard, come on now. But we're going to stay true, okay? This video is comparing Warzone 1 and Warzone 2 in their current states, right? So let's dig into the map first. So for Warzone 1, the current map is Caldera. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. I hate it. It's slightly bigger than Verdansk, smaller than Al Mazrah, and I think color-wise, layout, and just overall map design, Al Mazrah wins. But here's the kicker, right? The pacing on Al Mazrah is just horrible. And so the size of it just doesn't fit how fast you're able to move around, making the game feel very, very slow. So really, maybe it's a tie. I don't know, but I'm not scared to give Al Mazrah the dub here. I think the map is pretty good. Desert does get a little bit boring to me, but I do like the POIs a lot more than Caldera. Not a single place in Caldera is going to be memorable to me. I don't think back and go, dang, I really missed dropping there, or I had all these funny moments or fun times. None of that. The same is for Al Mazrah, but I do like the POIs a little bit different. Again, will I remember them? No, mostly because I just don't even play anymore, and I don't miss it at all. But for the sake of this video, I did hop in to Warzone 1, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot more fun playing Warzone 1 than I have playing Warzone 2 in a while. Still hate Caldera, though. But we'll get the dub to Al Mazrah here. So back to the pacing, right? And quite honestly, this is probably the main reason why so many people stop playing Warzone 2 is the movement is terrible. You know, like those dreams? You know, the nightmares where you're trying to run away from something super scary? It's like trying to kill you. And no matter how fast or hard you move your little legs, you just don't go anywhere. That's how I feel running around Al Mazrah. It's slow. It's not fun to watch. It's an absolute nightmare, okay? And I know they've made improvements, right? It held me over in Ashika Island, but eventually that died off. And I still feel slow. So Warzone 1 is going to take the cake for movement all day long. Nothing is more fun than being caught out in the open, you know? They think they got you, and you do a little slide cancel, a zig-to-zag, you know, bunny hop out from the corner, and you're back on top, baby, you know? Back in the good old days. You can't do that in Warzone 2, right? There's no outplayability. There's no maneuvering yourself out of a situation. You're just dead to rights if you get caught in the open. And the time to kill is so fast that you just don't have a chance to react. You just can't do anything. If they have mildly good accuracy, you're probably going to lose the gunfight. And the other thing I want to point out is, you know, people are like, oh, you know, the movement mechanics in Warzone 1, you know, they're abusing movement mechanics, of broken movement mechanics. Oh, I don't want to sweat out all the time. But compare it to any of its rivals, you know, anything similar in the genre like Apex or Fortnite, other battle royales. They all have movement mechanics that the very good people that are trying to excel and be better than everyone else are going to master to separate themselves from everyone else and give them a better chance to win the gunfight. So I don't know why so many people are so upset at Call of Duty Warzone for having the same thing. And it's had it in quite a few Call of Duties now. So it doesn't make sense to me. And we're just going to leave it bottom line, okay? Warzone 2 movement is buns. And the last thing I really want to talk about is gunplay. This video isn't going to be long because ultimately, like I said in the beginning, I think Warzone 1 is better. But I do want to go more in depth about why and how I got to this conclusion, right? So let's go gunplay. Both games suffer from broken weapons that end up having zero recoil and an insanely fast time to kill. So they both get an L here, honestly. But where Warzone 2 loses me is just the weapon system in general. Having 100+ attachments that ultimately everyone's going to use the same 4 or 5, with the same tuning, it just doesn't make sense. I feel like all that time and energy could have been dedicated towards something else. I'm not sure why they keep trying to revolutionize an area that needs to be left alone. And now hear me out. This is just an idea. But hear me out, right? I would really like to see 2 or 3 barrels, 2 or 3 muzzle attachments, an optic, maybe an underbarrel, right? And what if the rest of the attachments and how your gun looks was just purely cosmetic? So you can still separate your appearance of your rifle or your SMG or your sniper away from everybody else's, but the core attachments are going to be the same thing. And because that's ultimately what ends up happening anyway. So quit trying to design and balance all these different attachments and do all these different things and make sure they all fit into place. It's so much time and energy. You know everyone's going to run the same loadout, so stop putting that time and energy in. I think it'd be really cool to see people with some sick-ass foregrips and stocks, you know, and upper receivers and lower receivers and rear grips, you know, make all that cosmetic and allow people to customize their weapon, but don't waste time on giving them all individual stats and having to balance them. I think it's silly. I think Caldera has a more balanced weapon system. There's more choices to choose from that which you can at least put up a fight. For a while there, the RPD or the RPK in Warzone 2 was just ruining everyone, and I don't think there was a lot of competition. I haven't played. I think it got a nerf. I don't know, but it just, I had a lot more fun in Warzone 1 these last few days, you know, running a bunch of different weapons with a bunch of different like setups on them, and I was actually succeeding. So I still think that Warzone 1 has the better gunplay. Now, to conclude, I downloaded Warzone 1 just to see, right? I just was curious, and ultimately led me to believe, like, dude, why aren't more people playing this game? Okay? That's the only way to fight back against Call of Duty and the devs, is to just stop playing the games that you don't like. Okay? If we let Warzone 2 die, they'll fix it. Or they have to come up with something else, which ultimately would be better. Maybe. We all know how Call of Duty devs are with just ruining everything that's good. So, and if the devs really wanted to break the internet, they would put Verdansk back into Warzone 1. Do you know what that would do to everything and everyone? It would be insanity. And while I'm sure there are a large amount of fans standing in the corner of Warzone 2, I genuinely think a vast majority of people aren't having that much fun. And they left for Apex or Fortnite or just an entirely different game in general. So I appreciate you guys watching. Warzone 1 is better. Let me know in the comments if you're still playing or if you've moved on to greener pastures. I appreciate you. Stay dirty, and I'll see you in the next one.